Addlestrop by Edward Thomas. Read for LibriVox.org by Ian King. Yes, I remember Addlestrop, the name, because one afternoon of heat the express train drew up there, unwontedly. It was late June. The steam hissed. Someone cleared his throat. No one left and no one came on the bare platform. What I saw was Addlestrop, only the name. And willows, willow herb and grass, and meadow sweet and haycocks dry, no whit less still and lonely fair than the high cloudlets in the sky. And for that minute a blackbird sang close by, and round him, mistier, farther and farther, all the birds of Oxfordshire and Gloucestershire. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
By Henry Lawson. Read for LibriVox.org by Son of the Exiles. After All. The brooding ghosts of Australian night have gone from the bush and town. My spirit revives in the morning breeze, though it died when the sun went down. The river is high and the stream is strong, and the grass is green and tall, and I fain would think that this world of ours is a good world after all. The light of passion in dreamy eyes, and a page of truth well read, the glorious thrill in a heart grown cold of the spirit I thought was dead. A song that goes to a comrade's heart, and a tear of pride let fall. And my soul is strong, and the world to me is a grand world after all. Let our enemies go by their old dull tracks, and theirs be the fault or shame. The man is bitter against the world who has only himself to blame. Let the darkest side of the past be dark, and only the good recall. For I must believe that the world, my dear, is a kind world after all. It well may be that I saw too plain, and it may be I was blind, but I'll keep my face to the dawning light, though the devil may stand behind. Though the devil may stand behind my back, I'll not see his shadow fall, but read the signs in the morning stars of a good world after all. Rest, for your eyes are weary, girl, you have driven the worst away. The ghost of the man that I might have been is gone from my heart today. We'll live for life and the best it brings till our twilight shadows fall. My heart grows brave, and the world, my girl, is a good world after all. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Ah, Are You Digging on My Grave? By Thomas Hardy. Read for LibriVox.org by Rosalind Carlyle. Ah, are you digging on my grave? Ah, are you digging on my grave, my loved one, planting rue? No, yesterday he went to wed one of the brightest Welf's bride. It cannot hurt her now, he said, that I should not be true. Then who is digging on my grave? My nearest dearest kin? Ah, no, they sit and think, what use? What good will planting flowers produce? No tenants of her mound can loose her spirit from death's gin. But someone digs upon my grave, my enemy prodding sly. Nay, when she heard you had passed the gate that shuts on all flesh, soon or late, she thought that you no more worth her hate, and cares not where you lie. Then who is digging on my grave? Say, since I have not guessed. Oh, it is I, my mistress dear, your little dog, who still lives near, and much I hope my movements here have not disturbed your rest. Ah, yes, you dig upon my grave. Why flashed it not to me that one true heart was left behind? What feeling do we ever find to equal among humankind a dog's fidelity? Mistress, I dug upon your grave to bury a bone, in case I should be hungry near this spot when passing on my daily trot. I'm sorry, but I quite forgot it was your resting place. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
By Edward Thomas. Read for LibriVox.org by Ian King. And you, Helen, what should I give you? So many things I would give you, had I an infinite great store offered me, and I stood before to choose. I would give you youth, all kinds of loveliness and truth, a clear eye as good as mine, lands, waters, flowers, wine. As many children as your heart might wish for, a far better art than mine can be. All you have lost, upon the travelling waters tossed, or given to me. If I could choose freely, in that great treasure house, anything from any shelf, I would give you back yourself, and power to discriminate what you want and want it not too late. Many fair days free from care, and heart to enjoy both foul and fair. And myself too, if I could find where it lay hidden, and it proved kind. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
By John Gould Fletcher. Read for LibriVox.org by Shakira Searle. July 2014. Sea violins are playing on the sands. Curved bows of blue and white are flying over the pebbles. See them attack the chords, dark basses, glinting trebles. Dimly and faint they croon, blue violins. Suffer without regret, they seem to cry. Though dark your suffering is, it may be music, waves of blue heat that wash midsummer sky. Sea violins that play along the sands. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
By Henry Lawson. Read for LibriVox.org by Son of the Exiles. The Bush Girl. So you rode from the range where your brothers select, through the ghostly grey bush in the dawn. You rode slowly at first, lest our hearts should suspect that you were so glad to be gone. You had scarcely the courage to glance back at her by the homestead receding from view, and you breathed with relief as you rounded the spur, for the world was a wide world to you. Grey eyes that grow sadder than sunset or rain, fond heart that is ever more true, firm faith that grows firmer for watching in vain, she'll wait by the slip rails for you. Ah, the world is a new and a wide one to you, but the world to your sweetheart is shut. For a change never comes to the lonely bush homes of the stockyard, the scrub, and the hut. And the only relief from its dullness she feels when the ridges grow softened and dim, and away in the dusk to the slip rails she steals to dream of past hours with him. Do you think where, in place of bare fences, dry creeks, clear streams and green hedges are seen, where the girls have the lily and rose in their cheeks, and the grass in midsummer is green. Do you think, now and then, now or then, in the whirl of the town life while London is new? Of the hut in the bush and the freckle-faced girl who waits by the slip-rails for you? Grey eyes that are sadder than sunset or rain, bruised heart that is ever more true, fond faith that is firmer for trusting in vain, she waits by the slip-rails for you. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Do They Think That I Do Not Know by Henry Watson. Went for LibriVox.org by Glenn O'Brien. www.glennobrien.net. They say that I never have written of love as a writer's song should do. They say that I never could touch the strings with a touch that is fair and true. They say I know nothing of women and men in the fields where love's roses grow. And they say that I must write with a halting pen. Do you think that I do not know? When the love burst came like an English spring, in the days when our air was brown, and the hem of her skirt was a sacred thing, and her hair was an angel's crown. The shock when another man touched her arm, where the dancers sat around in a row, the hope of despair and the false alarm, do you think that I do not know? But the upper lights on the western farms, you remember the Christian put, where you held her warm in your quivering arms, and you trembled from head to foot. The wedges shook from her fingertips, and the murmuring answer low, the soft, shy yielding of worn red lips, do you think that I do not know? She was buried at Brighton, where Gaunt sweeps, when I was a world away, and the sad old gun its secret keeps, for nobody knows today. She left a message for me to read, where the wild, wide oceans flow. Do you know how the heart of a man could bleed? Do you think that I do not know? I stood by the grave where the dead girl lies, when the sunlit scenes were fair, and the white clouds high in the autumn skies, and I answered the message there. But the haunting words of the dead to me shall go wherever I go. She lives in the marriage that might have been. Do you think that I do not know? They sneer or scoff, and they pray or groan, and the false friend plays his part. Do you think that the blackguard who prays alone was altered of pure girl's heart? Knows altered the first pure love of a boy with his strong young blood aglow, or is altered to feel the world of joy? Do you think I do not know? They say that I have never have written of love. They say that my heart is such, their fine theories are far above, but the writer may know too much. There are darkest depths in the brightest nights, when the clustering stars hang low. There are things it would bring his strong heart to wait. Do you think that I do not know? End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
By Robert Louis Stevenson. Read for LibriVox.org by Willie. Through all the pleasant meadowside, the grass grew shoulder high, till the shining scythe went far and wide and cut it down to dry. These green and sweetly smelling crops they led in wagons home, and they piled them here in mountain tops for mountaineers to roam. Here's Mount Clear, Mount Rusty Nail, Mount Eagle, Mount High. The mice that in these mountains dwell no happier than I. Oh, what a joy to clamber there! Oh, what a place for play, with sweet the dim, the dusty air, the happy hills of hay. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Must Die by Claude McKay. Read for LibriVox.org by Leonard Wilson of Springfield, Ohio. If we must die, let it not be like hogs, hunted and penned in an inglorious spot, while round us bark the mad and hungry dogs, making their mock at our accursed lot. If we must die, oh, let us nobly die, so that our precious blood may not be shed in vain. Then even the monsters we defy shall be constrained to honor us, though dead. O kinsmen, we must meet the common foe. Though far outnumbered, let us show us brave, and for their 1,000 blows deal one death blow. What though before us lies the open grave? Like men, we'll face the murderous cowardly pack, pressed to the wall, dying, but fighting back. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Killed by Thomas Hardy. Read for LibriVox.org by Rosalind Carlyle. The Man He Killed. Had he and I but met by some old ancient inn, we should have set us down to wet right many a nipperkin. But ranged as infantry, and staring face to face, I shot at him as he at me, and killed him in his place. I shot him dead because he was my foe. Just so, my foe. Of course he was. That's clear enough, although he thought he'd list perhaps, off-hand like, just as I was out of work, has sold his traps. No other reason why. Yes, quaint and curious war is. You shoot a fellow down you'd treat if met where any bar is, or help to have a crown. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
By Claude McKay. Read for LibriVox.org by Leonard Wilson of Springfield, Ohio. Sometimes I tremble like a storm-swept flower, and seek to hide my tortured soul from thee, bowing my head in deep humility before the silent thunder of thy power. Sometimes I flee before thy blazing light as from the spectre of pursuing death, intimidated lest thy mighty breath, windways, will sweep me into utter night. For, oh, I fear they will be swallowed up, the loves which are to me of vital worth, my passion and my pleasure in the earth, and lost forever in thy magic cup. I fear my truly human heart will perish on the altar stone of art. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
By John Gould Fletcher. Read for LibriVox.org by Shakira Searle. July 2014. Let the winds come and bury our feet in the sands of 7 deserts. Let strong breezes rise, washing our ears with the far-off sounds of the foam. Let there be between our faces green turf and a branch or two of back-tossed trees, set firmly over questioning hearts, the deep, unquenchable answer of the wind. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Bill's Second Fight by A. B. Banjo Patterson. Read for LibriVox.org by Son of the Exiles. Saltbush Bill's Second Fight. The news came down on the Castlereagh and went to the world at large that 20,000 travelling sheep, with Saltbush Bill in charge, were drifting down from a dried-out run to ravage the Castlereagh, and the squatters swore when they heard the news and wished they were well away, for the name and the fame of Saltbush Bill were over the countryside, for the wonderful way that he fed his sheep and the dodges and tricks he tried. He would lose his way on a main stock route and stray to the squatter's grass. He would come to a run with the boss away and swear he had leave to pass. And back of all and behind it all, as well the squatters knew, if he had to fight he would fight all day so long as his sheep got through. But this is the story of Stingy Smith, the owner of Hard Times Hill, and the way that he chanced on a fighting man to reckon with Saltbush Bill. 'Twas Stingy Smith on his stockyard sat and prayed for an early spring, when he stared at sight of a clean-shaved tramp who walked with a jaunty swing. For a clean-shaved tramp with a jaunty walk a-swinging along the track is as rare a thing as a feathered frog on the desolate roads out back. So the tramp he made for the traveller's hut and asked could he camp the night. But Stingy Smith had a bright idea, and he said to him, "Can you fight?" "Why, what's the game?" said the clean-shaved tramp, as he looked at him up and down. "If you want a battle, get off that fence, and I'll kill you for half a crown. But, boss, you'd better not fight with me. It wouldn't be fair nor right. I'm Stiffin' a Joe from the Rocks Brigade, and I killed a man in a fight. I served 2 years for it fair and square, and now I'm a-trampin' back to look for a peaceful, quiet life away on the outside track." "Oh, it's not myself, but a drover chap," said Stingy Smith with glee. "A bullying fellow called Saltbush Bill, and you're the man for me. He's on the road with his hungry sheep, and he's certain to raise a row, for he's bullied the whole of the Castlereagh till he's got them under cow. Just pick a quarrel and raise a fight, and leather him good and hard, and I'll take good care that his wretched sheep don't wander a half a yard. It's a £5 job if you belt him well. Do anything short of kill, for there isn't a beak on the Castlereagh will fine you for Saltbush Bill." "I'll take the job," said the fighting man, "and hot as this cove appears, he'll stand no chance with a bloke like me, what's lived on the game for years, for he's maybe learnt in a boxing school and sparred for a round or so, but I've fought all hands in a 10-foot ring each night in a travelling show. They earned £1 if they stayed 3 rounds, and they tried for it every night. In a 10-foot ring, oh, that's the game that teaches a bloke to fight. For they'd rush and clinch, it was Dublin rules, and we drew no colour line. And they all tried hard for to earn the £1, but they got no £1 of mine. If I saw no chance in the opening round, I'd slog at their wind and wait, till an opening came, and it always came, and I settled 'em sure as fate. Left on the ribs and right on the jaw, and when the chance comes make sure. And it's there a professional bloke like me gets home on an amateur, for it's my experience every day, and I make no doubt it's yours, that a third-class pro is an overmatch for the best of the amateurs." "Oh, take your swag to the traveller's hut," said Smith, "for you waste your breath. You've a first-class chance, if you lose the fight, of talking your man to death. I'll tell the cook you're to have your grub and see that you eat your fill, and come to the scratch all fit and well to leather this Saltbush Bill." 'Twas Saltbush Bill and his travelling sheep were wending their weary way on the main stock route through the Hard Times Run on their 6-mile stage a day, and he strayed a mile from the main stock route and started to feed along, and when Stingy Smith came up, Bill said that the route was surveyed wrong, and he tried to prove that the sheep had rushed and strayed from their camp at night, but the fighting man he kicked Bill's dog, and of course that meant a fight. So they sparred and fought, and they shifted ground, and never a sound was heard but the thudding fists on their brawny ribs and the second's muttered word, till the fighting man shot home his left on the ribs with a mighty clout, and his right flashed up with a half-arm blow, and Saltbush Bill went out. He fell face down and towards the blow, and their hearts with fear were filled, for he lay as still as a fallen tree, and they thought that he must be killed. So Stingy Smith and the fighting man, they lifted him from the ground, And sent to home for a brandy flask, and they slowly fetched him round. But his head was bad and his jaw was hurt, in fact he could scarcely speak, So they let him spell till he got his wits, and he camped on the run a week. While the travelling sheep went here and there, wherever they liked to stray, Till Saltbush Bill was fit once more for the track to the Castlereagh. Then Stingy Smith he wrote a note and gave to the fighting man. 'Twas writ to the boss of the neighbouring run, and thus the missive ran: "The man with this is a fighting man, one Stiffener Joe by name. He came near murdering Saltbush Bill, and I found it a costly game. But it's worth your while to employ the chap, for there isn't the slightest doubt You'll have no trouble from Saltbush Bill while this man hangs about." But an answer came by the next week's mail with news that might well appall: "The man you sent with the note is not a fighting man at all. He has shaved his beard and has cut his hair, but I spotted him at a look. He is Tom Devine, who has worked for years for Saltbush Bill as cook. Bill coached him up in the fighting yarn and taught him the tale by rote, and they shammed to fight, and they got your grass and divided your £5 note. 'Twas a clean take-in, and you'll find it wise. 'Twill save you a lot of pelf. When next you're hiring a fighting man, just fight him around yourself." And the teamsters out on the Castlereagh, when they meet with a week of rain, And the waggon sinks to its axle tree deep down in the black soil plain, When the bullocks wade in a sea of mud and strain at the load of wool, And the cattle dogs at the bullocks' heels are biting to make them pull, When the offside driver flays the team and curses them while he flogs, And the air is thick with the language used and the clamour of men and dogs, the teamsters say, as they pause to rest and moisten each hairy throat, They wish they could swear like Stingy Smith when he read that neighbour's note. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
From 12 Sonnets. Once more into my arid days like dew, by Edna St. Vincent Millay. Read for LibriVox.org by Shakira Searle. July 2014. Once more into my arid days like dew, like wind from an oasis, or the sound of cold sweet water bubbling underground. A treacherous messenger, the thought of you comes to destroy me. Once more I renew firm faith in your abundance, whom I found long since to be but just one other mound of sand, whereon no green thing ever grew. And once again, and wiser in no wise, I chase your coloured phantom on the air, and sob, and curse, and fall, and weep, and rise, and stumble pitifully on to where, miserable and lost, with stinging eyes, once more I clasp, and there is nothing there. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
By Hamlin Garland. Read for LibriVox.org by Rosalind Carlyle. Sport. Somewhere in deeps of tangled ripening wheat, a little prairie chicken cries. Lost from its fellows, it pleads and weeps. Meanwhile, stained and mangled, with dust-filled eyes, the unreplying mother lies limp and bloody at the sportsman's feet. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
Morn in New Hampshire by Claude McKay. Read for LibriVox.org by Leonard Wilson of Springfield, Ohio. All yesterday it poured, and all night long I could not sleep. The rain unceasing beat upon the shingled roof like a weird song, upon the grass like running children's feet, and down the mountains by the dark cloud kissed, like a strange shape in filmy veiling dressed, slid slowly, silently, the wraith-like mist, and nestled soft against the earth's wet breast. But lo, there was a miracle at dawn. The still air stirred at touch of the faint breeze. The sun a sheet of gold bequeathed the lawn. The songsters twittered in the rustling trees, and all things were transfigured in the day, but me, whom radiant beauty could not move. For you, more wonderful, were far away, and I was blind with hunger for your love. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
By Robert Louis Stevenson. Read for LibriVox.org by Willie. How do you like to go up in a swing, up in the air so blue? Oh, I do think it the pleasantest thing ever a child can do. Up in the air and over the wall, till I can see so wide, rivers and trees and cattle and all, over the countryside, till I look down on the garden green, down on the roof so brown. Up in the air I go flying again, up in the air and down. End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.
By William Blake. Read for LibriVox.org by Kit Neusis. Tiger, tiger, burning bright in the forests of the night, what immortal hand or eye could frame thy fearful symmetry? In what distant deeps or skies burnt the fire of thine eyes? On what wings dare he aspire? What the hand dare seize the fire? And what shoulder and what art could twist the sinews of thy heart? And when thy heart began to beat, what dread hand and what dread feet? What the hammer, what the chain? In what furnace was thy brain? What the anvil, what dread grasp dare its deadly terrors clasp? When the stars threw down their spears and watered heaven with their tears, did he smile his work to see? Did he who made the lamb make thee? Tiger, tiger, burning bright in the forests of the night, what immortal hand or eye dare frame thy fearful symmetry? End of poem. This recording is in the public domain.